Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of some of the features of the Hornet, which I haven't done yet on any of the videos. So just go around the controls and the inputs and that kind of thing. So from here, this is the power input. It's 9 volts DC. No need to worry about polarity because it's got reverse voltage protection. So you can just use any like guitar effects adapter or something like that. Mini jack output, I'm going straight into my JVC Boom Blaster stereo. You can go to a mixing desk, obviously, whatever. So this is the sensor. It's a sharp infrared sensor. It's nice and accurate, and it's very playable. It's one of the things I really love about the Hornet. So you can kind of, if you can see my hand there, so basically with a lot of this, the playing in this, you might not be able to see my hand because the camera's so zoomed in, but you can probably see the reflection in the top of the Hornet. And you get this lovely thing where you can just hit the side of the beam. And it's almost like the sound is there in the air. And I love that about the Hornet. It's just... it's almost like a beam of sound kind of coming out somehow. So yeah, so this is an infrared sensor. It works by sending out an infrared light, and then it measures the angle that bounces back at, and from there it calculates the distance of your hand or whatever object you're using to interrupt the beam. So you know, it makes it quite a playable instrument and a lot of fun for improvising with. The next switch is this one. This is the voice switch, and it's got two modes. One is human, vaguely human, anyway, and the other is robot. Which is louder and, as you can hear, kind of more Dalek-y. It's almost a bit like one of the sync sounds you get, you know, off synths. It's quite nice. Put that back to human. So then you've got a mode switch, which has got two modes, polite and rude. This being an English instrument, it has to have polite and rude switch. So polite is what you've heard before, kind of fairly standard, theremin type sound. Rude is a much more digital, kind of glitchy type sound, and it uses a couple of the other controls which I'll sort of come on to. So if we put it on rude, you have to turn the speed up, interrupt the beam, and you get... So you get the idea. It's kind of really glitchy. It's spitting out all these kind of random digital sounds which are very rhythmic, and they re-trigger every time the speed control re-triggers. And you can kind of get like a nice repetitive, fairly minimal thing like this, or if you fiddle with this decay control, all sorts of like digital mayhem. So if you have set to somewhere like this, you get these quite nice just repeating effects, you know, rhythmic effects. And then if you start to change the decay control, you get kind of digital chaos. Great, there's so many sounds, it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. So What else have we got? So we got the speed, which you've kind of just seen working. Now the speed is, this is running a grain synth. This it's an Arduino, and it's running the heavily hacked version of the Arduino open source grain synthesizer. And so it's got a pitch on the sensor, as I've been demonstrating, but it's also got a repeat speed, and that's this knob here, and you can see the LED changing. And what's nice about that is that actually, once you get up to about here, it's in the audio range, so it's got its own pitch as well. So you can kind of get, you'll see as I'll demonstrate. So here we've got, you can hear the clicks getting faster. What's nice about this is if you combine that with the distance sensor, you get these really nice kind of overtone effects. So I'm now going to move my hand up and down above the distance sensor. Which is cool for two reasons. One is that it's a really nice sound, and it's got these lovely kind of overtone things which are in tune. And the second thing is you can kind of play tunes on the speed control. Also, if you've got a track that's in a particular key, you can set the speed control, preset it to that key, and then you can just sort of like play with the sound that's coming out on the distance sensor. I use that trick in a couple of the sort of demo improvisations that I've been doing. Speed control works on all the the modes. Get some nice kind of vocal sounds out of it. So there's a decay control, which is it only works in rude mode, so it makes no effect at all in polite mode at all. If you switch it to rude mode, this is when you get the sort of digital chaos kind of sounds. So and it affects the length of the grains basically. Okay, and then you got a volume, which is just kind of standard volume. It's actually very useful having a physical volume on it, because you can kind of like tweak things in, and sort of, especially in an improvising situation, it's useful to be able to feed things in slowly, and you know, what I often do is I put a little bit of delay on this, and it works really well with quite a lot of effects actually. I sometimes use a delay, a harmonizer, analog delay is really nice, and then you can basically just sort of create sometimes a looper pedal as well, and you can just create kind of soundscapes by just kind of feeding stuff in. Slightly clangers-esque, I guess. The other thing to say about it is that if you get those deep sounds through a big system, there's some serious bass there. It's great, it'll shake the room, you know. So and look at it, it's tiny. So we've got this sort of tiny instrument, really portable. You can stick it in your bag. It's very tough. It's basically it's a, I'm just going to turn that down. There we go. It's a laser cut top, and all the components are mounted to the top, so you can undo these 4 screws and the whole thing just lifts out, which means you can repaint the box if you wish, or I can supply it to you with just primer, if you want, and some feet that you can stick on later, and you can paint it whatever colour you want. Yeah, and then it's basically just like an aluminium stomp box enclosure kind of thing, and so it's really light, very portable, fun to play, and yeah, I mean, support our crowdfunder, grab one if you like. It's the evolution of about 5 years of development of these kind of instruments. Started making the first ones in 2011. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and this makes the whole Hornet thing a bit clearer. Thanks for watching.